coming to break you off. We coming to break you off. We're coming to break you off. 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 It's that time, you all. It is on a Tuesday. This is Break Me Off Radio with your host, Deborah Denise, coming live to you from theconnected.net, The Connected Radio on Facebook. Listen, watch us live, share it. Make sure you let a friend know. This is where we come in and we learn something new. We share about things that we want more understanding of. But most importantly, we leave you wanting more. So we're going to break you off this evening. We want to start out our show by telling you all thank you to everybody that tunes in, that listens, that gives me feedback. This show is growing. So we are so very grateful for that. If you want to be a part of the show, I need you to email breakmeoffradio@gmail.com. We'd love to bring you in for an interview if it aligns with what our show is about. And today, definitely impromptu, we got our man, Mr. Face here from Saving Ourselves, man. That I think he's just a jack of all trades, man. I've seen this man do everything from moving people to cutting watermelons to delivering groceries, from traveling from city to city. And as you all know, this is always unscripted. So we're going to ask for an introduction. If you can tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Face.
Okay, well, like she said, everybody knows me and calls me Face. That's my name that I go by. If you know another name, then you really, really know me. But I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, out of Alexandria, Virginia. I've been doing mentorship and community outreach for over 5 years now. And I got a story and I love to share it.
So you gave us like this brief, very, very brief description. Like I said, it's unscripted, it's impromptu. What is something that you got deep in your heart that you want people to know a little bit more about you? Something that they would never expect, or one thing I know about you that I've learned recently is that you like to fish.
I love to fish. I've taught a lot of people how to fish.
Okay.
Got my son with me today. He a good fisherman at 11 years old. Normally he catch the first fish, but I think I beat him the last time.
Okay.
But yeah, love to fish, love to help people. The demeanor may be unapproachable, but the people that know me, they know I'm very approachable. So that's one thing that I've been working on. I try to smile a lot more, be more welcoming, be more approachable to people. I have a special place in my heart for homeless neighbors, especially the youth, because I was a homeless youth at one point in time. So like to help out wherever I can. I like to say I thrive to be an asset versus a liability in whatever situation that may be.
So let's talk about that just a little bit, about this whole demeanor. Because when I met Face, like I was like, who is this dude? He don't smile. I couldn't tell which way, you were thinking, what you thought of me, what you thought about Block Love. He just was stoic. Like he was just standing there. And then I was like, is he the bodyguard? Is he the driver? Is he like the henchman? Like, who is he? And then as I got to know you, got to know, man, you like the clown.
Yeah, let it joke around. Let it joke around. I love to joke around because for real, people can't tell if I'm joking or I'm serious. So I love that aspect of it. It's kind of like acting. Um, when you look at yourself and you want to assert yourself as an asset versus being a liability, you don't really have no titles. Whatever needs to be done. I like people around me that do stuff and you don't even have to ask them to do it. And be like, why are they doing that? Because it needed to be done. So I like to say I strive to be an asset and to help out wherever I can. If it's driving, I love to drive. If it's talking, I love to talk. If it's cleaning, I can clean too.
I love that because I wish more people would think about their places in other people's lives, their places in relationships, their places even on their job or in community. I think we all should strive to be an asset. There are a lot of individuals that will come and want to be a part of something that they see thriving, but they're more of a liability because they pull more out of you.
Yeah.
And in the environment that we work in, we need people that can initiate things, that can jump in, can see where there is, some type of gap, and they're willing to fill that without being asked. And I love that about you. Sometimes you can be a little overly,
Yeah.
because you will tell me exactly what I know. I'm kidding.
I can be bossy. I get
He
bossy.
is.
Get a little
He
bossy.
is.
I like that boss. I like that boss demeanor.
That's that
But it's in
DMV
a
in you.
jokingly way sometimes. But if you do it, then it's cool.
It's that DMV. Let me tell you all. I shared, I think, a couple of weeks ago where I had the gentleman that came in and he was talking to me. Boy, he had that like up north DMX type energy. And I had to pause him for a minute and I was like, bro, is that how you are on interviews? He was like, yeah, just where I'm from. And I do know, like, there's a lot from the DMV area where they say, this is where we're from. It comes off as aggressive.
Yes.
And I told him, I don't want you to soften your man. I don't want you to kind of like soften, but I do want you to come across a little bit more gentler,
Yeah.
if we can do that. And now I get to see the gentler side of FaZe. But at first I was like, yo, this dude and this energy is totally different.
Yeah.
But then I also, when I hear you talk with, and we've had Dr. CJ Blair on here, at first listening to both of y'all talk, I was like, okay, you can definitely tell it's the region, it's where they're from. But then when they use that energy talking to the youth, they need that.
Yeah.
You can't be in there talking all gentle and everything with these hard heads,
They
right?
want to accept it or respect it. So I like to say we give authentic mentorship. So if I need to tell you to sit your little ass down, then you have to sit your little, But I'm doing it in more like the uncle way versus trying to be controlling or abusive with it. And I think with the younger generation, for so many years, that firm hand has been missing. And I can tell when a lot of them get that firm hand, they respect it.
I see it. I watch it. And for me, watching it from the outside looking in, I see where you get that draw from the younger crowd as well as the older crowd.
Yeah.
We've had this new thing with FaZe called About FaZe, and he'll give these talks during the week because I understand people can be doing life skills, but FaZe brings this type of energy with him as well as his own lived experience where you can really get to the heart for people.
Yeah.
And you get people to open up and recognize their own issues and take accountability.
Yeah.
And that's not always easy because, in the environment we work with the homeless population a lot. A lot of individuals want to blame. But I've noticed with FaZe, I'm starting to learn a lot of those that I've served. I served for years.
Yeah.
And now hearing them being honest and open about their issues and why they're homeless, well beyond, what people think is the normal reason or these imagined reasons as to why someone is homeless, whether it's mental health, whether it is substance abuse, or they, we've heard the folks called lazy. Our houses, people work, but you have a way to reach people. And I've seen that. And what really blows my mind when it comes to you is I know you've had that past.
Yeah.
So it's just like you were probably right where they were sitting, and it wasn't easy for somebody to break your shell, but you're gifted with that.
Yeah, I wasn't privileged to have the resources available when I was homeless. I was homeless, I want to say the early 90s. So during the early 90s, there wasn't a whole lot of resources out there. If you was outside, you was outside. So now today, noticing the resources and being a part of the resources, being a resource to houseless neighbors, I get to really assert myself and let them know, like, bro, I've been in your shoes and I had none of this stuff that you have now. So like the excuses and that you can make up, it don't fly with me because I know what it takes to get up off of that ground and stand up and walk this planet as a man. So and I believe that a lot of them just needs that to be reinforced. You don't have to beat them over the head with it because people are in difficult situations because of difficult choices, somebody else's choices. Like there's multiple reasons that go behind it. But I let them know first and foremost that I've been in your shoes, and then I let them know I respect you. And one of the things that I appreciate about you, I believe, is every day that you tell the homeless people, if ain't nobody never told you this, I want you to know I love you.
Mhm.
Like some of these people ain't heard that in so long, and then I see people's reactions. Like I watch people's mannerism and reactions. Like just hearing those words put smiles on people's face, and it's like it's been a long time since some of these people heard somebody say they love them versus get away from my building or get away from my store. So that's something that I picked up from you that I've learned. Like show them that you care about them, show them that you appreciate them. Like what we do is not a job because they couldn't pay us enough to do it. So
say
you
that.
have to really have a certain type of gratitude and heart for the people that you're serving.
It's funny you say that because this evening I said it, and I had a gentleman in the room that last week he came in. I hadn't seen him in a while, and last week he came in with all this negative energy. And like I told him, I'm not gonna keep dealing with that. So he actually didn't stay for dinner. This evening he stayed for dinner, and I try to be conscious to make sure that I'm telling, everybody in the room that I love him. And I said it tonight. And when we got ready to leave, we put out the sandwiches, and he came over to get his sandwiches, and he said, "You know what? That was dope. I love you too." Boy, that thing touched my heart. I was like, man, I'm about to tear up now because I was like, this knucklehead who gives me a hard time, who has literally been put out of almost every service in the city. He acknowledged that.
And that's how you get to the core.
Yeah.
It's kind of like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Woo.
When you get to the core of some of the individuals that we service, you see that that's all they want. They want to be seen. They want to be appreciated. They want to be an asset. So that's one of my things that I'm on. It's like whatever it is, try to be an asset. If you got a couch surf and you got to stay with somebody's house, don't come empty-handed. Bring some toilet paper, bring some soap detergent, bring something with you to show your appreciation for what they're doing for you. And you will find out that stay may be a little bit comfortable, more longer, because you became more of an asset than a liability. So I noticed that was one of the things that I used when I was homeless. Like when I used to spend the night over my friends' houses, I make sure I bring something with me when I come for the family.
Yeah.
So.
And I instill that, we instill it like, yo, they letting you stay there, look out, don't sit. And I'll have these open conversations. Don't go stay at somebody's house and drink up all the milk. They got a house full of kids.
Yeah.
Make sure there's milk or plentiful. If you got to stand on the corner with your sign and get that $10, get 2 gallons worth of milk, make sure they got toilet paper. Don't just be up in somebody, or if you don't have it, ask me. Go over there with toiletries, show up with something, because there are times when we've got neighbors that are couch surfing, but we got to teach them how to be an asset. And I wasn't even thinking of it more of an asset. I was just thinking of show your appreciation, for somebody allowing you to come in, but we even see it in our building, because you said it tonight. We got to get more of them working. Like they come around, they're in there all day, but they actually get in. Y'all, our building gets cleaned by our neighbors who most folks would look past and be like, oh, they nasty, da 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 da. No, them jokers get in there and scrub. I had somebody tell me, I can't remember if it was you or somebody tell me, we got the cleanest bathroom in Charlotte. You better believe it. That thing stays sanitized. Sweeping, mopping the floors, cleaning behind everything. We went over the cleaning list today, didn't we?
We went over the cleaning list, and let me tell you, I've never seen a 2-page cleaning list before, but we have a 2-page cleaning list.
Every day. Those are the steps that we go through. But our neighbors, in my mind, it's also teaching them, because some people haven't been taught how to live. So these are the ones that I know I won't hopefully have to worry about, because your area around your tent is clean. Once you get your apartment, you're being told now, because not everybody's being told. If you grew up in a nasty house, I got individuals in my family. If you grew up in a nasty house and you're used to seeing a nasty house, you're going to live in a nasty house.
Absolutely.
especially if no one taught you. If you've never seen how to be clean.
You've been comfortable in mess. You have no reason to want to clean or to want to see nothing different once you become comfortable in mess. I like to say too, like, and this is one of the things that I talk to our neighbors about as well, is find something that you're good at doing and provide a service for people other than constantly asking for money. Post it up in front of the dollar store, the gas stations, off the freeways. If you standing on the freeways and you have a sign and you do get money, why not invest in that and go get some Gatorade, go get some bottled water? Because there's people that's coming off the highway that's thirsty. You know, I know people that they don't give out money to people that ask for it, but they support anybody that have an idea or a business. And they say it's because once you become comfortable asking for stuff and you got really good at it, you will never really work hard ever again.
That's right.
So I want to reverse that, and I want people to understand that it's better for you to provide a service, even if it's, can I wash your car? Like, I done let some jokers wash my car and it ain't turned out the way they said they did, but I still give them the money and still appreciating them because they're not just asking for money and feel like that's the way that they feed themselves. I want them to get used to like in the Bible it said, if a man don't work, he don't eat. It don't say you can just stand out there and ask somebody for what they work for. So I want people to get in a condition because I wouldn't be in a situation I'm in now if I just ask for everything.
Right.
Like I have to really go out here. I have to discipline myself to get up in the morning. I have to have a plan when I get up in the morning. I have my son, so a lot of my decisions is made around, okay, is he taken care of?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I like to harp on with our neighbors is like try to find something you're good in. If you make t-shirts, we got a lane for that. If you got ideas, we got a lane for that. If you can draw, we got a lane for that. And doing this, I've actually seen the work. Like people that was asking for stuff are now going out and doing different type of works to make money. So I know it can happen. It's just now you have your extreme cases where people can't work, and I'm not saying everybody that's just asking for money. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're able to work, we have 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids outside in front of the corner store asking for money. I feel strange as an older man giving you money and you younger than me, and I know how much work you have left in your back, and my back is aching.
Say that. Say that.
And if you can't find work, then just holler at me and I'll find it for you. We can find it together.
And I tell people that's it's almost like a dilemma sometimes with the population that we serve, because people say, well, you're enabling them, if we're giving them money or change. And there are times when we do give somebody some change, just on our personal journeys. But we want to instill in individuals that there's something to give. I always tell our neighbors, listen, there is 3 things that God would love from us: time, talent, and treasure. And your treasure, you may not have it financially, but you can give of your time.
Yeah.
And so we got the individuals that come in and help us do stuff, extra stuff. We had a couple of guys help folks move on last week. Then you have those that have their talents. We got one guy who does art. Use your art to design tattoos for somebody. Use your art. You may be able to illustrate a book for someone. We have an individual that did the mural in our building, which is absolutely dope. There's now another opportunity for a mural at one of the local middle schools.
Yes.
So we're going to be making sure that one of our neighbors has that opportunity. Faith started something with our neighbors as far as cutting grass. And you all, let me tell y'all, it's crazy because it seems like the ones that you would think their inability would be the reason that they would not have jumped on the opportunity to cut grass, they got out there, y'all. Then one of the ones that you would think would struggle the most with cutting grass, didn't they jump on it?
They jumped on the opportunity, and I like to say, we don't have to force anybody to do anything. Some people just need a little motivational push, or just a little you know, a word, a word of motivation, you know, could do a lot for a person as far as getting them going. Um, the guys that did come out to work, man, I appreciate them because it's really my way of proving a point. I cut grass when I was 11, 12, 13 years old to make money. It was a thing that I always knew it was a go-to move for me. I remember when I started the cutting grass program and we was knocking on doors and they was like, yeah, somebody need to come and do it because the young people, they don't want to cut the grass no more.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, huh? Like as a young person, when you can't get a job or you can't get a worker's permit, cutting grass, shoveling snow, raking leaves, bagging groceries, like that was our way to go out there and help the family out, you know, be more of an asset to the family. So to see now that the youth would rather play games on their phone than to cut the grass or to go outside and rake leaves and back then the Jordans had first came out back in my youthful days and we wanted them. And mama wasn't spending $100 on a pair of shoes. I'm saying Jordan's $350 now, but my mom wasn't spending $100 on a pair of shoes. So if we wanted them shoes, especially before the first day of school, that
Cut some
summertime,
grass.
you better be out there cutting grass.
Washing cars. You was doing something.
You was doing something, and you wasn't made to do this. This was you saying, I open that refrigerator up and it's a mayonnaise jar and a bottle of water in there, and I want more. So you went outside and you pushed that lawnmower and you raked them leaves and you shoveled that snow, but it built work ethic. I like to say that just having our neighbors clean the building and help pass out some of the food and stuff like that. I like to say that we building work habits, you know, for people that haven't worked in a while.
And it has, you know, you've seen it transform because you all that don't know, we've served on the streets for years. You know, we would have neighbors help us with different things, serve food and stuff, but being in that building and having that presence and them being able to really get involved, it's a totally different atmosphere. Like they love it, but they also enforce it. When people come in, man, don't you dribble on that toilet. I'm gonna need you to get some cleaner, wipe that toilet down.
Yeah, they tell them wash your hands when you come.
Yeah, wash your hand. That is law. Like when you come in that building, you sign that piece of paper and you go in there and you wash your hands, you know, clean up after yourself. But it also gives them that sense of belonging. And, you know, I am a part of something that is bigger than me. And I love it. I love watching it, but I love seeing that interaction because everybody that comes in that building that wants to volunteer their time or even saying they've got a service to offer, you don't always see them receive it the same. With you though, it's consistent. When face is not there, when face ain't there, it's totally different. They are always wanting face to be there. But then when I tell them he's on the way, it's that build up of anticipation because they don't know, one, if you're gonna fuss at them, two, if you're gonna make them work or do something, or three, they're just looking forward to the about face session. You know, but you have a way, y'all, and he does it so smooth. And you know, if y'all watching live, you see he barely crack a smile, but when he smiled, you know, you got on his good side. And so he'll walk by and tell somebody, yo, man, bro, let me come with me. And they're like, oh God, am I in trouble? But no, he's opening up a door for them and doing what we should all be doing, and that's teaching individuals how to fish.
Yeah, I like to contribute a lot of that to my college education. For those of y'all that don't know, I went to Penn State. I mean, State Penn. I keep getting that mixed up. Is it Penn State? Is it State Penn? All right. I went to this.
No, he was in the penitentiary.
I went to the state penitentiary, and I was able to learn a lot. So one of the things that I picked up on right before I came home was public speaking, and the art of public speaking. So I kind of try to use bits and pieces of what I got, what I picked up from those classes, Toastmaster classes and all of that. But what I appreciate the most about speaking, especially to our neighbors, is And it's not just our neighbors. We speak at high schools. We speak
Mm-hmm.
at juvenile detention centers. I've been in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County Jail, and I spoke to them as well, and it was well received, and I appreciate that opportunity. But one thing that really got me was the conversations after the group,
Mm-hmm.
the people that come up to you and say, "I needed to hear that,"
Mm-hmm.
or "I'm so glad that I was here to hear those words from you." And to me, their words, you know, and behind those words, it's a want to motivate you to want better for yourself.
That's true.
So when I get those conversations and I get those people that come up to me and they say they appreciate it, or they share more of their story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that, because you never know what somebody is going through, and you never know what you could say that could free them of the turmoil that they going through in their life, and you become an outlet. They feel more comfortable having conversations to you. Like, so many people have pulled me to the side,
Mm.
like, I need to talk to you on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
So what starts off as a group conversation, it builds trust and it builds a different type of connection. So I absolutely love it.
And that's what I see with you. It's totally different than when we was on the street, ain't
That's totally different.
it?
It's totally different from being on the streets, is because on the streets we had a designated time where we would pull up on them,
Mm-hmm.
and people can behave for a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're around people all day,
Mm-hmm.
then you get to seeing, you know, their flaws and things of that nature. But it's also a good opportunity for you to pull them to the side and make corrections. Like, I seen you do it with people that was going through domestic issues. I seen you do it with people that just had minor little arguments and stuff. Like, we don't catch that if we just feeding you at a certain time. But when we have you all day long, we can really see you. Now, one thing I want y'all to know about this lady, Miss Debbie, is you can't finesse her. And 9 times out of 10, she done seen you before, or she done heard that line before. So when you come to her for support, come with a pure heart. Like, come with, you know, I haven't seen a person yet that she's turned down, you know, for resources, but she don't play no games. She not gonna let you play with her. She not gonna let you play with the resources. She not gonna let you play with her time. So when you come with a pure heart, and you will get blessed. But if you come with any other type of foolishness, then you gonna know that she is not the one.
You know where that comes from. It's just like, listen, it's not that I know it all, I've seen it all. It's like so many people value what we do, whether it's our houseless neighbors, whether it's our volunteers, whether it's our donors. People believe in this work and they believe in this mission. And I want it to work for everyone. My goal has never been to end homelessness, but my goal is always to just teach people that you can win.
Yeah.
You can win.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen folks come out the mud, literally out the dirt, and they win. They have that win mentality. I talked about it last week. You have arrived. You arrived when you were born.
Yes.
So that means it's in you. We just got to pull it out of you. Because homelessness is a situation. It can be temporary. And now if you choose to be homeless all your life,
Yeah.
you can still be somebody.
Yeah,
You can still
absolutely.
have a voice. You can still be heard.
Oh,
But don't BS me.
no, it's not gonna work. But real quick, before we get into any other topic, I'll be doing a disservice if I did not thank each and every volunteer. Now, I don't know each and every volunteer, each and every person that came up to the building that's donated. I don't care if you like a post on social media, because you could be liking some ratchet foolishness. But if you see a Block Love post and you like it and you comment, or you say, you know, it moves you to want to do more or to want to help or be a part of what we have going on at Block Love, man, I want to say I appreciate you, because um, it's a testimony that we're doing God's work. Because sometimes we can look around and we see our neighbors, and we look at the food supply on what we got to feed everybody for the day, and we be wondering, like, how is everybody gonna eat? and somebody will call, somebody will knock on the door, like somebody will drop stuff off. I'm talking about church groups, regular families that come down and they tell us, y'all sit down and relax. We gonna serve the people today. The Charlotte Mecklenburg County Sheriff Department, Sheriff McFadden has been so helpful. Like Charlotte, y'all really show up and show out, man. I've noticed that from moving down here from the DC area. I see the Southern hospitality. I see the love for your neighbors. I see the appreciation for what Miss Deb is doing and what Block Love stand for. So, like, I just wanted to give y'all flowers. Anybody that visits, anybody that keeps up, anybody that spreads the word about Block Love is really appreciated.
That's big love, big love from Face. Here we are with Boogie Down Productions. My philosophy, my
Oh, that's
philosophy.
my
My
joint. That's the video version, huh?
So
Here's to tell everybody that on the mic. Listen to him dropping my secrets.
yes, I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak. I think very deeply. Let us begin. What, where, why, or when? Will all be explained like instructions to a game. See, I'm not insane. In fact, I'm kind of rational when I be asking you who is more dramatic. This one or that one, the white one or the black one. Pick the punk and I'll jump up to attack one. KRS One is just the guy to lead a crew. Right up to your face and dish. A lot of suckers would like to forget me, but they can't. Because like a champ, I have got a record of knocking out the frauds in a second. On the mic, I believe that you should get loose. I haven't come to tell you I got juice. I just produce, create, innovate on a higher level. I'll be back, but for now, just sample. You're the main in about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
Boy, as y'all know, hip hop is the soundtrack to my life. I love that song, but I thought it was appropriate for you because this is philosophy, man. We are creating something here that we hope can set a pattern for how we look at those that we serve, from the language that we use. Instead of just saying folks are homeless, we say houseless, unhoused, you know, um, not always making these different assumptions on what we think someone has done to become homeless. But for you, you've seen it from so many different angles because you serve in so many different cities.
Ooh. Washington, D.C., Cleveland, Ohio, Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York, Houston, Texas, Baltimore, Maryland,
Philly.
Philadelphia,
Mhm.
Portsmouth, Virginia. These are all the places within the last 5 years that we've done community outreaches where we've touched the community. Now, when I say touch the community, it's not just for the houseless neighbors. Some people have house and don't have food. Some people have house and don't have furniture. Some people have kids and don't have
Mentors
pampers.
and stuff.
Like, so we've touched a lot of cities. When I say we, I'm talking about the organization Saving Ourselves, which is a mentorship program, and we advocate for mental health in our communities. The one thing that I'm real focused on is making sure that we're mentally healthy because we can get you a job, we can get you a house, but if you're not mentally capable of being able to sustain this,
Mhm.
then all we're doing is putting you in a situation, in a no-win situation. So I like to say we have to make sure that our mental is right. Now, there's extreme cases of mental health and there's minor cases of mental health. I like to say I like to catch the minors before they get to the extreme, because once you get to extreme, and when I say extreme, it could be anywhere from talking to yourself to like wanting to harm yourself or others.
Mhm.
It can all be taken care of before you get to that point. But I think the way that we grew up, the codes that we stuck to in our, not just in the streets, but just in our household. Don't tell nobody what goes on in this house. Where if somebody's being touched in this house, maybe somebody need to be told what's going on to make it come to a stop. So we advocate in our communities for those that, you know, to let everybody know it's okay if you're not okay. It doesn't mean you weak. It doesn't mean you're not a man, you know, and coming from a big black man such as myself, you know, who've bought in. Like I wouldn't be sitting here, I wouldn't be able to do the work that I'm doing now if I didn't first understand that it's okay if you're not okay, and find somebody that I can be able to release to and talk to. Also, we have to do a better job of processing stuff.
Mhm.
Like just because somebody tell you no, they don't hate you, they don't dislike you. It's no for the moment because it's no. And we have to be able to process that because no could turn you into an angry person and it shouldn't. It's just that person saying they can't do it right now. So we have to learn to be better at checking our mental health and making sure we're mentally healthy. And we got to also do better jobs at processing things.
Told y'all that's his philosophy. He deep. He deep.
with it.
BDP. He deep. But I love that. You know, one thing I wanted to ask you, and I've been wanting to ask for a while, what because you do go to different cities, what do you two things? What is one of the things that you see that we get right just in Charlotte alone when it comes to our house with neighbors? And then one of the things that you see that we're getting oh so wrong.
Uh, I say one of the things the main thing that I see that you do right is that it's resources. It's a platform for them. I'll never forget when I first came to Charlotte and we first connected with Block Love. We would go down to the city council member meetings, and I think at this time they was making laws about them urinating in public places and things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You can't have a lady walking a dog and somebody defecating in the same park. But I remember vividly you standing up and like, you know, I hear what y'all saying, but where do they go when they have nowhere to go?
Mhm.
And that hit me. It's like they're not here, but they have somebody here to advocate for them.
Mhm.
A lot of places that I've been to, if they don't advocate for themselves, they get no resources. So to have organizations such as Block Love, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other organizations out here that advocate for our houseless neighbors, but I don't see that across the country, especially going to the council member meetings, because a lot of this stuff, if you don't know, you don't know. You didn't even know that they're having a meeting discussing your future.
That's it.
But you have somebody that's on your side that been off of work and attending these meetings because she knows that it affects the people that she care about and the people that she work about. Carolina has Southern hospitality. I felt it. It's violence. There's violence everywhere, but the amount of just good-hearted people, especially working at Block Love and seeing the people that come in there, is not black people. It's not white people. It's all people that come in to get service and to come in to help out. So that was like an eye opener for me. And I'm like, this needs to be a model for all other places. That's the only thing y'all not doing right is you not boxing this up and shipping it around state to state to state to state. It needs to be a Block Love DC, a Block Love Cleveland, a Block Love everywhere. And I believe that that helps out our community. So if I'm downtown at Eddie V's and I'm tired of our houses, neighbors asking me for change and telling me that they're hungry, or I don't want to see them sleeping out by my basketball arena, then I need to get behind Block Love because I want that to be a place where they know they can go and get resources versus having to ask every guest or resident that comes in the downtown area to help them out. So I love the fact that they have a building that they know they can go to. I remember when we first got it open, it was like 5 people coming down, then it was 10 people. I look up there and see 60 people, and I'm like, we doing something right.
That's true. You know, it's funny you say that because the vision of Block Love and the reason why I didn't just do the name Block Love, I did Block Love Charlotte
Hmm.
because God had already showed me Block Love Raleigh, Block Love Houston,
Absolutely.
Block Love Jacksonville. And I named these cities because these are cities we already have connections in, Block Love Atlanta. And in these different cities, when we've gone, there are people that do homeless services that come and join us to do these services. But they said, you all do it with such a heart. I can remember being in Houston and we went down there with Loaves and Fishes. We didn't
Mhm.
partner with them. They just allowed us to use the area.
Hmm.
And the homeless were actually blown away because we were setting up. They were like, what y'all setting up for? They were used to trucks just coming up and pulling up,
Yeah.
throwing the stuff out and pulling off.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did a whole setup. And them folks looked at us like they was ready to fight.
I've never been nowhere and I seen like how y'all put it out for them. I've never been nowhere and I seen this. Now, of course, in Washington D.C., we would pass out groceries and things of that nature. And Thanksgiving time, even my kids, they did dinner pass out for the homeless. So that's everywhere. They're gonna do that around the holidays. But every day a hot meal. And when I say a hot meal, I'm talking about whatever you would eat at. I seen pig feet out there at the table. I seen neck bones out the table. I seen spare ribs out the table. I done seen some seafood salad with shrimp and crab meat in it. And
Eddie
I'm like,
V's.
Eddie V's, like, shout out to Eddie V, shout out to Papa John's,
Yes.
shout out
Olive
to
Garden.
Chick-fil-A, shout out to Olive Garden, man. Y'all don't know how much y'all bless the community with the stuff that y'all was gonna throw away. Like we really turned this food into something that the people come back every day for, and I love it. And not only they come back for the food, but they end up leaving with so much. They end up leaving with a "I love you." They end up leaving with an ID, a resume. They end up leaving with a job lead. So the food that's being donated to us that we pass out is very much appreciated, and it allow us to build deeper relationships. Once they stomach start growling, maybe they can listen to you, and maybe they can talk to you about their problems now.
And that's something else. I was telling them even just earlier today, I was fussing because I was like, y'all ain't gonna keep eating up all my grits and oatmeal. Don't worry, he gonna get on here in just a few minutes. I was like, y'all ain't gonna sit in here and just eat up all my grits and oatmeal because I don't have a breakfast budget. I don't have a lunch budget. I don't have breakfast and lunch posted on our website as a mealtime. But guess what? Every day we have breakfast
Something. It's gonna
and
be
lunch.
something. It's gonna be something there for you to eat in the
Yeah.
morning. It's gonna be coffee there. It's gonna be water there.
But that helps get your attention.
Yeah.
You may not have eaten last night. Like today was rainy and cold, but people knew they can come in and get some hot coffee. We went through a lot of coffee today.
Yeah, and people know where their resources is. When 5 o'clock hit, sometimes I just look outside and I look towards
Drove.
downtown and I see the people walking, and it's like it's amazing because these were the people that we was worried about. Like, all right, if you stop us from coming down to the wall,
What's gonna happen?
what's gonna happen? Like, how are we gonna make sure that they eat every day? How, like, and the food is not the only thing that Block Love does. Like, the health department comes down, they do health screening. Uh, Jobs come down there. A lot of different people come down there to like talk to and encourage. Like I've seen people get their SNAP benefits. I see people update resumes on a daily basis. So it's a lot of resources in this building. And to see these people, our people, walking down Graham Street at 5 o'clock every day so they can get their spot, it's like, okay, you just go do the work and you stop worrying about how they gonna get there, what they gonna eat. We gonna provide a way. I'll tell you, I see God working through this whole play, and I see how He makes sure that we have even when we don't think we have enough.
See, Faye's trying to make me cry and I teared up over here because you all, I'm getting ready to take a brief vacation. But I can remember when I took a vacation earlier this year, our van broke down. The engine is gone. You know, and big shout out to those that have reached out. We still need some help getting that back on the road. But let me tell you why I was like, oh God, we were picking them up. They not gonna come. We actually have double, almost triple in the amount of individuals that come and make it to that building. I felt like I was pushed off the block, for a number of reasons. And I conceded. I said, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure everybody is able to get to this building. We got this van broke down. They come, y'all. I don't know, for bikes. We see bikes coming up there. Cars on their last leg.
I done seen Ubers. I done seen cars on their last leg. I done seen them walk in groups. And this morning when I came in, it was really raining hard today, and it was raining early and often this morning. So a lot of our neighbors who had to walk to the building,
wet.
They was wet, but they wet because people flying up and down Graham Street. And when you see somebody walking on the sidewalk and you're getting ready to run over this puddle, don't splash them. Like, slow down, like, get them fair warning, because a lot of these people, they don't have fresh, clean clothes that they can change into at the drop of a dime like y'all can. So
we had a couple of them going to work.
Yeah, if you're coming down Graham Street and it's a rainy day, man, and you see somebody walking down that sidewalk, man, why don't you switch over there to that middle lane so they can stay dry for the rest of the day? Thank God that Block Love has a stockpile of clothes, because we needed it this morning for our neighbors.
Everybody came in with it. Yeah, everybody. I mean, y'all, down to their drawers, their socks. Yeah. Everybody was soaking wet. We got a couple of people who they're where they in camp at got flooded. So it's like they got to rethink about where they're gonna stay. Before we close out, even though he trying to nap and you keep trying to wake him up, what does this type of work mean to you and your son?
Well, at first, I didn't think that my kids paid attention to the type of work that I do. I want to say about 3 years ago, I asked my older kids, my 20-year-olds, I said, I ain't buying you no toys, and ain't no Santa Claus going down no chimney. It's coming from me. So how much do you need? And they said to me, and I'll never forget this, they said, we don't need no money. All we want to do is get our friends together, and we want to go out on Christmas Day, and we want to feed the homeless. We just need y'all to set up the tables and everything and help us set up. And after that, y'all just back up and just let me and my friends do it. And I'm like, at the time, they was probably like 17, 18 years old at the time. So it blew me away, because I don't know no kid that want that for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of equate that to this the type of work that I'm doing, and my kids see that and they respect that. So they like my daughter's in Maryland University right now on a 5-year plan to become a therapist. I don't know if I'd have been advocating for mental health and doing what I'm doing now if that would be her career path or not. So I say stop talking to your kids and pay more attention to what you're doing, because they learn more from what you do than what you say. So stop running your mouth and start paying attention to what you're showing them. So
that's it. He summed it up, man. I love it, y'all. That's been Face here with us from SOS Saving Ourselves Worldwide. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Facebook. They do a lot, not just in this community. Like he said, he is all over the place. We truly appreciate them. We appreciate Mr. Kevin Glover. We appreciate the Connected.net. We need for you all to love, like, and share. Continue to tell your folks to tune in, you all. We really are talking about what needs to be said and having sometimes uncomfortable conversations, but it's always unscripted. It's always driven by love. And I appreciate everybody that really, 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 it rocks with me and is down with me. We're going to leave you, y'all, with a little bit of Michelle A. Nice tea. Go time, hey, hey.
Excuse me, honey, but it's your husband, Mary.
Do you want thousands of potential customers to see your business?